Black boy joy, she wanna see the Forbes like I wanna see her form. Tell me what you for, yeah. Ayy, you pay me, but I'm old, yeah. Yeah, all this money on me. Yeah, cash rules all around me. Yeah, all this money around me. Yeah, cash rules all around me.
Hey, yeah, man, how you feel like a man with that? I tell a long little real life, stay true to that. Hey, no, man, how you feel like a man with that? I tell a long little real life, stay true to that.
Hey, big bags, my back ache through customs. You travel like you must be tough out of your luck, huh? I'm that go-to when she down to come through clutch, huh? Sit brown till I'm flush time, my drip, real plush, huh? Internet tea off a blue pill. Hand grip stack of the blue cheese. Turn that to a bag in a new crib. Nice big spot by the seaside. Never stressed on for a handout. Just ain't on what it be on. Just ain't on, need to be right. Yeah. Gold fronts to show the color of my soul. Who you think you is, you got me in a mode. Where I'm from, we live and die by the code. Either that or sell your soul to get a roll. Black boy joy, she wanna see the Forbes like I wanna see her form. Tell me what you for, yeah. Ayy, you pay me, but I'm old, yeah. Yeah, all this money on me. Yeah, cash rules all around me. Yeah, all this money around me. Yeah, cash rules all around me.
Hey, yeah, man, how you feel like a man with that? Hey, I tell a long little real life, stay true to that. Cool by the king, got drip by the way, yeah. Independent living, you $1 million slave, yeah. Tell them keep it simple, stupid, cause it's all about the feeling. Yeah. They done fucked around and let some young bitches in the building. I'm a suave young player like the fan with a hot shit. Got that 30 on me, baby, hit and go with a plot twist. If your pocket's broken, shawty, I can hit you with the remedy. And I keep it thorough, baby, you can tell it by my energy.
Black boy joy, she wanna see the Forbes like I wanna see her form. Tell me what you for, yeah. Ayy, you pay me, but I'm old, yeah. Yeah, all this money on me. Yeah, cash rules all around me. Yeah, all this money around me. Yeah, cash rules all around me. Yeah.
Good morning, my friends. How are you? Hope you're doing well. It is a momentous Monday, a little bit rainy outside, but damn, it's great to be alive. It's great to be able to feel the rain, to hear the rain. Good morning to you. On today's show, among other things, I want to talk about dads on duty. Have you seen this news story? This is worth your time. This is quite interesting. Dads on duty. And I want to spin it to this. Is it proof that we don't need cops in our schools, that we don't need police officers as SROs in our schools? Some say yes. Some may say no. I want to discuss it. Also, there's a controversy surrounding the Hamilton County lockup facility here in Cincinnati, Ohio. And it surrounds the distribution of a tool that has been used to solve unsolved crimes, in particular, unsolved murders. There's a little bit of controversy over that. And I reached out to the CEO of the nonprofit. She agreed to come on at about 8 a.m. this morning. Said we'll chop it up. Along the way, per usual, a smattering of topics related to people, politics, and pleasure. Good morning to you. This is the Nathan Ivy Show, the last honest place, at least in these United States. And we'll get started. I just need about maybe 3 or 4 minutes and we'll get started. This will give you just enough time to share the show in as many places as possible. If everybody shared the space in one spot on their page, man, we would greatly increase the distribution and visibility of today's show. Don't go anywhere. We'll get started in just about 3 minutes.
Bad little flex, she wanna know me. I stay low key, all gas, no brakes. Baby, let them hoes sleep. Body on 10, make your girl OD. I get in my way, never out of my lane. Feel like you the one and I'm on one. So what it's gonna be? Baby, squad up, we finna go deep. Riding on a team, got what you need. Baby, won't you keep me company? Give me something to do when I get lonely. I got something for you when we get home. If you let me put it down, when I hit the town, you should ride on me. Keep your minds on me. On try, baby, I think you should side with me. Stay solid one time if you lie with me. Just promise you never lie to me. Keep the moves on tuck. I know it's all love. Everything good. Keep the vibes on crush. I know it's all good. Know it's all love. Know it's all love. I've been feeling like a man lately. Can't nobody do it like I can daily. Baddest in the land. Body turn your nigga to a fanny up, fanny up. I made it where I'm at on my own. Had a couple blocks in the road, but I get to the bag on the low. I be counting stacks while they grow, yeah, you know me. Baby, won't you keep me company? Give me something to do when I get lonely. I got something for you when we get home. If you let me put it down, when I come in town, you should slide on me. Keep your minds on me. On try, baby, I think you should side with me. Stay solid one time if you lie with me. Just promise you never lie to me. Keep the moves on tuck. I know it's all love. Everything good. Keep the vibes on crush. I know it's all good. Know it's all love. Know it's all love. Nature, 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 NatureIvy.com. Mr. Ivy know the show must go on. And far as Cincinnati, man, I put on. Tunes made another flame beat for me to cook on. Raised dogs, close fish, yeah, too strong. Team AI, chop it up at the chop shop. Top notch with the king flow, the hot shot. Cop squats in, listen to the real, jumping like hopscotch. Nobody harder than, oh, no, think not. Not only citywide, but nationwide. Superlatives, keep it locked like them Haitian guys. Put the truth in the airways, we talk about it. Brand new like the templates, let's be about it. Who got the info by the AO? John will be the rapper, got them jamming when they play him. Staying in my lane, they ain't gotta okay him. Who the host with the scoop? Yeah, they gon' say him. Ivy, so superlative like a bag of Grippos. Show you where the bricks at, Cincinnati Reds at. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at. It's the 513, yeah, you know the flow. What's the word, Nate? Let them know the show. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Thank you for the delay. I appreciate you being here nonetheless. Let's get the thing started up, okay? 513-873-7134 if you want to share your thoughts. I'm broadcasting live from a secret location somewhere in the Cincinnati area. If I tell you, I have to take you out the game. Oh, this is moving like, there we go. Ooh, that's how I like it. There it is. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well, everybody. How are you? Welcome back. Man, it's been a beautiful weekend. I don't remember what I did. I didn't do a whole lot, but it's been a beautiful weekend nonetheless. Good morning to you. Damn, what are we going to talk about today? I can think of a few things. 513-873-7134. Now, coming up at about 8 a.m. in about 45 minutes, I'm scheduled to speak with the founder of a local nonprofit. You may or may not have heard about the work that they do. And I'm speaking of Hope Dudley. She's the CEO of You Can Speak for Me. She's going to join the conversation and hopefully give us an update on the situation regarding the Hamilton County Jail and the distribution of playing cards that were developed to help address unsolved murders here in Hamilton County. The Hamilton County Sheriff, Charmaine McGuffey, she says that, hey, they spent about $40,000 dealing with security issues as related to these paper cards. Now, these are playing cards. You can play, cards with them, play poker. I'm a poker player myself. I love to play cards. Any kind of game where I have to bet on myself as my skills against another person, I'm always there for it. So they're playing cards. They distribute in the jail, I guess the inmates or whatever. They will, or the people in the lockup facility, they'll play cards with it. But they also have, clues about unsolved murders. So apparently, from what we were told, or we're getting through the media, and people brought this up last week, somehow they were being jammed into the locking mechanism or something to that degree. I don't have all the details. Hopefully, Hope does, and she can tell us that. Hamilton County Sheriff, the latest I heard, says she's going to try to work with them. But if it's a decision between $40,000, $140,000, or $240,000 per year for the taxpayers in solving unsolved crimes, then it's worth the money, in my opinion. But again, I'm just a dude with a microphone, broadcasting live from a secret location. That's it. Live, local, and vocal. Good morning to you. Who dey to all my Bengal fans out there. I'll say it again. I see a different energy. I've seen a different energy from the Cincinnati Bengals. And, with the politics notwithstanding, because I'm still pissed off about Kaepernick and the fact that there is no conscious black majority ownership, the Bengals are now worth my time. I started watching that because I don't waste my time with nonsense. I don't waste my time with it. There was no way in the hell I was going to watch it when Rudy Tootie was down there. Andy Dalton. Now he's Andrew Dalton. You know what I'm saying? Got a whole new makeover. You know what I'm saying? He must have got married to a black woman. She did a whole new makeover with him. The sisters do that, man. They get with the white dudes, and all of a sudden, it's like from Urkel to Stefan Urkel. They got him looking like, I don't know, like a runway model out here. But back when he was Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle, a wackest ass name ever that he didn't earn, I wasn't watching that garbage. But now that he's Andrew Dalton and he's backing up the brother up there in Chicago, hey, he might be worth the time. But the Bengals are worth my time. I watched most of the game while I was working yesterday. It was a lot of fun. And Jamar Chase is a dog. They got some real dogs in that team. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I say take it game by game. They could lose every game from this point on, but enjoy it to this point. To my Houday fans and to all you Baltimore Raven fans out there living in Cincinnati, that's all I got for you. That's it. You ain't worth too much more than that. Yeah. That's it. If you want to share your thoughts on the program this morning, it's pretty easy. All you got to do is dial that number right there. Now, dialing it is easy. And once you call in, we got a maxim. Open your mind before you open your mouth. Other than that, it's all good. It's all good. You can agree. We can always agree to disagree. You don't have to agree with the host on this show. As long as you ain't super disrespectful with it, I match energy. It's all good. It's all Gucci. Home said, I like it like this. Is that better? Yeah, I like it like that. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. How was your weekend? What did I miss? What's going on? Drop a link. Good morning to you. Hope you had a great weekend. Looking forward. This is the week of the NAACP Freedom Fund dinner. Of course, the wifey and I be in attendance. They awarded me with the Inspiring Innovator Award, and I had to meet with their videographer over the weekend. Matter of fact, it was on Friday, which was almost damn near forgot because my mother's in hospital right now. A lot of people have been asking. Let me give you an update. She isn't as good at. The only way she could be in better condition is if she was fully conscious. So we got a call to rush to the hospital like Thursday. You never want that call with your mother saying that the doctors were really concerned that she was going to die. And what happened? So basically, she had a massive heart attack like Wednesday, massive heart attack. And now she has 6 stents in her heart. It was just not a good sign, not a good sign. And she's 70 plus and doesn't really take care of herself. There's a lot of people from her generation. It is what it is. Still not eating right. I ain't getting on Chairman Mom because she's earned the right to do whatever the hell she want to do, right? It's her life. So all of her children, we all rush to the hospital, and it's just that drive to the hospital when you get a call like that about your parent, it's very emotional. But one thing I'll say about the people in my life is they prepared me for death. They prepared me for this. So my attitude about it is pretty the same. I want to be here as long as possible, happy and healthy. But I'm not God. God has a plan, and we play out God's plan. I don't control life and death. God controls life and death. And that gives me a lot of comfort in some ways. So anyway, we get out there and you walk in there, your mother's got she's fully intubated. She got a pump in her heart. She got all kind of medicine. She's unconscious. She's got something helping her breathe. She got all these. You ever seen that before with your parent or somebody you care about? It ain't easy. It's a very, very emotional, very, as you could imagine, a lot of tears, all that kind of shit, right? Because I'm very human. I keep it 100 with you. So you talk with the doctors and they give you the what's what and what to expect. They were very real about it, but also gave us what to look for. And that was on Thursday. As of this morning, because I just called them maybe like 2 hours ago. I've been up since like 3:30. Got a update, and she's just the only way she could be better at this point is if she was conscious. They weaned her off of the only drug that she's on is just it's a mild. It's not even a sedative. It's just one drug. She was on a lot of drugs. They had her on something called a CRRT, which is sort of like a temporary dialysis. They're weaning her off of that. So at this point, they're trying to wake her back up. They took the pump out of her heart. So at this point, they're trying to wake her back up. Chairman Mom is strong. I come from strong stock. I tell you, I got some sisters that's harder than a lot of men out here. I'll say it again. I have sisters that are harder than a lot of men out here. We are all very tough individuals, very smart individuals because we get it from her. And of course, our fathers as well. But Chairman Mom, she earned that. I'm telling you, that's a strong Black woman right there. And so I'm not sure. She's in the ICU, and the way it works in ICU is only one person can go per day. So there's 5 of us siblings, and then she's got a brother and family. So we're all trying to figure it out. And as soon as I'm able to get in there, I'm in there, and I'll let you know what's going on to all the people that was asking questions. So that's where my thoughts were right now. Not really on accolades or the show or anything else. It's all about family right now. as it typically is, but even more so. But I say all that to say that on Friday, I was scheduled to do like a little video for the NAACP. Damn near forgot. If it wasn't for, it being on my Google calendar, I would have forgot about it. I'm just at the house. We had just got back, the wifey and I. We're at the house chilling. I'm kind of like decompressing. I think I was making a salad, right? I was just putting the avocados on the salad, and my alarm goes off and says I have to be there in 15 minutes. So I rush over there to do that. It was a great time, man. It was a great time. A lot of good people. I'm looking forward to it. Super, super humble. But at the same time, I was very reflective about my little radio career because there's people out here with way bigger audiences than me, way bigger, way more influence, way more reach. But that's them. I don't really only care about what I'm doing. And it made me reflect a little bit about my little radio career here. Because a lot of people say things to me, but I don't really think about it like that. I just do it. And yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been putting in that work, serving our community for a long, long time. That's why I was always a few years back. I had a couple people to kind of challenge my blackness, and it was pretty interesting to me. I had to stand back and look like, hmm, I've been doing this for the community for a long time. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Sometimes you got to remind people who you are and what you all about. And I'm here for that business. It is what it is. Good morning to you. Oh, a lot of well wishes for my mother. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I hope that prayers matter. I want to believe it does. I hope it does. But again, I already know how this goes. That's God. God, the creator, the universe, the most high, however you want to put it. That's who makes these decisions. We just try to scramble around here and live the best lives that we can. So whenever Chairman Mom or whoever is called home, then that's what it's going to be. And we have to struggle to understand and figure it out. But again, I was taught as a young age to understand. I grew up with my grandparents. When you grow up with older people, they prepare you for these kind of things. So you don't want it. But I give people their flowers. I'll give Chairman Mom her flowers right now. I don't have any regrets. Somebody asked me, do you have any regrets? I don't have no regrets. I'm not a regretful kind of person. I do what I do. It is what it is. I learn from it or I don't. Typically, I learn really quickly. So that's what the latest is with Chairman Mom. Looking forward to it. And, we're looking for her to regain her consciousness. We went through the same process about a year ago. Matter of fact, maybe a little bit, about a year ago. About a year ago, we went through the same process. She had a stroke and same deal. So we shall see. We shall see. Keem writes, Dave Chappelle's at the Heritage Bank on November the 6th. Oh, really? Shh. I may have to be there. I might have to be there. That sounds like a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Hey, listen, to all the folks who are here, please take a second to share today's show. Share today's show. Maybe on your page. I know that's prime real estate. I know how it is. I'm not gonna share his show on my page. Why would I do that? Again, if that's how you feel about it, it is what it is. But if you don't mind, hit me with a share and let your friends know what you're listening to. We are broadcasting live from the greater Cincinnati area, live, local, and vocal. Of course, the show is powered by Sin Digital Media, aka CDM. Right. Good morning to you, amplifying Black voices in the Cincinnati area and beyond. And we're going to continue with that. And it is what it is. Good morning to you. Okay, thank you so much, Cass. I appreciate it. Appreciate the compliments. Thank you so much. You know what I'm saying? Got to look good for the camera. You know what I'm saying? I'm a radio dude, so I was audio first. You know what I'm saying? But now what you'll see is most radio dudes is doing what I'm doing, right? They got a little camera, they going straight to Facebook Live and shit like that. They better. It's smart. It's smart. Good morning to you. I've got some updated news, but I really want to talk about this cover story because I think it's so interesting. And this is just so encouraging to me. So encouraging. I love this. Dad's on duty. You hit to this? Dad's on duty. Look at these black men right here. Give it up for the brothers right here. See, this is an example of what you can happen when it's the power of a man. It's the power of a collective of men, and specifically the power of a collective of black men. Look what black men can do when we come together. You know what I'm saying? We got some of that in the city of Cincinnati. We need more of it. I can't say that black men don't work together in Cincinnati because that'd be a damn lie. Black men do work together in Cincinnati, but you got too many black men that's caught up on dumb-ish. Their ego, that crab in the barrel mentality. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You already know. But this case comes to us from Shreveport, Louisiana. And there's a high school down there that was being called a very violent week, where 23 students were arrested in just 3 days due to fighting at Southwood High School. 23 students were arrested in just 3 days down at Southwood High School, high school, Southwood High School. And I took a little issue with the fact that the media is calling that violence. That ain't violence. That's a fight. Violence is not the same as a fight to me. When I think about violence, I think about somebody pulling out that strap and putting it on you. That's what I think about. I don't think about I don't think about um a fight. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think about it that way. Maybe it's me, but I just don't think about it that way. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's me. Is it just me? So they had a not too good week down at Southwood High School. And then people were like, something got to change. You know what happened? The brothers stood up. The brothers stood up and they said, we're going to do something. We're going to call it Dads on Duty. And they got together about 40 dads and they started greeting the students. Now, the same thing has happened here in the city of Cincinnati. It was some sisters that put together this in Cincinnati and other people recreated it. And they were greeting the students as they came in, but they were also maintaining a presence as volunteers during the school day. And apparently, ever since then, they've had no fights and they've gotten a lot of positive responses from it. And I think this could be an example across the whole nation. We need a Dads on Duty here in the city of Cincinnati. Somebody else will have to organize it. I got a bunch on my plate. I got a bunch on my plate right now. It can't be me. I'll join and promote it. And I do know of some folks that are already doing that stuff here in the city of Cincinnati. And I hope to catch up with them real, real soon. You know what I'm saying? Dads on Duty, proof that we don't need cops in our school. That's what I think. That's the way I look at it. Because, there's a big conversation going on right now about SROs, that school resource officers. And I've had to really think about it. I've had to really think about how I feel about it. And I've arrived at the position that I believe that overall, that having police officers in uniform in our schools has a negative impact. And it begs the question, why don't we have plainclothes officers? Like if there was ever a venue in which the officers should be plain clothes, wouldn't it qualify to be in the schools? Why not plain clothes? There's something about the uniform. And I got a lot of folks that work in law enforcement, primarily Black, that listen to this show, CPD folks. I got family on the CPD. But I want to say this. It's bigger than whatever the particular actions are, because whenever you had this conversation, people will say, well, I know good SROs. So let me take that off the table. I know good SROs. But when you put that uniform on, it precedes you. It's bigger than even your actions. There's a perception that is imbued with the uniform, no matter who you are as an officer. It don't matter if you are the nicest officer in the world. It don't matter. It don't matter. And we got to be real about that. And I think that there's nothing wrong with examining better ways of doing the stuff that we've always done. It's called innovation, right? Where's the innovator at? We need some innovations. It's called innovation, right? There's nothing wrong with innovations. And I'd like to get your thoughts about it. Like, could you see this happening? I mean, many people might be in the greater Cincinnati area, but could you see something like this being successful in your public school system? Or maybe you've got school-age children. I give these brothers mass props. That brother right there in the middle, he actually is, ironically enough, as I was talking about the NAACP, he actually is involved with the NAACP down in Shreveport, Louisiana. And he's the organizer of it. And he said he did it because it needed to be done. Simple as that. He said he did it because it needs to be done. It needs to be done. Concerned dads patrol high school. And they start patrolling the schools, and they're going to bring a different mentality than a police officer is. Now, if it's a choice between having a police officer that has a relationship with the school and a police officer who's just being called to the school who has no relationship, then I'll take the police officer that's got a relationship any day. But at this point, if it's a question between having maybe some dads on duty or some community volunteers stepping in and police officers, then I would choose the community police, the community folks. That's what I would choose. And again, it ain't nothing negative. I'm not saying nothing negative about any of the individuals. Stop all of that. Stop trying to make it personal. It ain't personal. You know what I'm saying? But I just love this idea, man. And I love that it's Black men. They say that black men don't care and black men don't stand up and black men ain't there for the children. And you got an example of these brothers out here. They're standing up for other people's kids. The man behind his name is Michael Lafitte. That sounds like a Louisiana last name, Michael Lafitte. And it's everywhere. Just Google Dads on Duty. Several people sent this to me, and I appreciate all of you. You know, in that way, you're like a producer for the show. All the choppers are producers for the show. Just hit me with a direct message. That's the best way. If there's something that you really want me to see, that's the best way for me to see it. If you put it in the stream, that's great. Then the choppers can see it. But if you want me to see it, hit me with a direct message. That way it doesn't get lost in the sauce, so to speak, right? And why are they having so many fights? I can't say. It could be 1,000 reasons why they're having so many fights down this particular high school. I mean, number one, that's the nature of human beings. Human beings are going to fight. That's the nature of it. I don't overreact because students fight. Then, I'm like, okay, sometimes you need to fight. I mean, that's the other thing that we get lost in here. There are some people that need to get smacked across their damn mouth. This is what it is. I mean, we don't like to say that. It ain't PC and all that, but that's the truth. There are some people that need to get knocked down. They need to get knocked back into reality. The reality of it. You got a lot of people out there that play games. Students, you got grown folks that play games. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of those people that thinks, that there's no such thing as fighting words. Negative. There's some things you can say that'll get you knocked the hell out, and you deserve it. And you deserve it. So I don't know. I don't know the details about all these fights, but I mean, if they're fights, you're getting arrested over a fist fight. That seems like overkill. Whatever happened to breaking it up and you calm down? Maybe you get suspended for a few days. You come back to school. No big deal. No harm as well. But that's that prison. That's that school to prison pipeline. And sometimes they get abused by administrators and teachers. That's the truth. But have you heard about this? And if so, I'd like to get your thoughts about this. I think this is a great idea. I'd love to see an expansion of this across the country. Or maybe it's not dads. Maybe it's just a community. Maybe it's mom and dads. But, when it's a man, right? Because as a man, you got a different aura. You got a different aura than a woman. There's pretty strong suckas out there, right? But as a man, when you get a collective of men, right? Yo, check it. A collective of black men. That's powerful. So I love to see, some of these fathers. And again, I ain't trying to put nothing on nobody, because if I feel that way about it, I should do it myself. In no way am I trying to put that on anybody else. I'm just talking about it. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But that would be very, very powerful. You know what I'm saying? If you had a collective of black men, I think that's what CPS needs, because he didn't have no black men on the damn school board. You know what I'm saying? So maybe we need some black men. And I wonder if CPS will be open to that. I wonder if they'd be open to that kind of, I think on some levels, I think they would. Like, I'm open to the idea of trying something different from the SROs. I don't believe what I keep hearing. Everybody's like, this is the only way we can do it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it one bit. That's because in Cincinnati, sometimes there's certain people in Cincinnati, certain elements of Cincinnati that they're just bankrupt on ideas. And they're afraid to try new things. It's the truth. It's the truth. Listen, if you want to holler at me this morning, you can do so by calling that number. You can let your fingers step in the name of digital radio this morning, so to speak. Again, 513-873-7134.
Get to the chopper!
Let's get to the chopper. Sharp Rice, good morning, Nate and the choppers. Ray Rice, good risings all. She writes, hope your mom is feeling better. She is, like I said, if you just tuned in, I appreciate you and all the well wishes. It really means a lot. It really does. I really appreciate it. But the only way she could be better is if she was conscious. Okay, so at this point, she seems to be stable. But even when I'm saying this, I realize that I could get a call right now saying things went to the other side. So again, I think what I want people to take from this is a couple things. One, give people their flowers while they're here. Stop with the nonsense and the bickering and the stupid ish and the old stuff and all your past grievances, and call your people in them and tell them how much you love them and embrace them and spend time with them. And number two, health is wealth. I'll be honest with you. Chairman Mom does not take care of herself. And I can't force her. She my mother. I can't force that woman to do a damn thing. You know what I'm saying? We tried it all. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna remove my mother's still doing stuff like, using vegetable oil. Like, yo, ma, you can't be using vegetable oil out here. You know what I'm saying? Better get you some avocado oil. Despite my transformation and what I've done physically, um, it don't really matter if people don't do it, even in my own family. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because she is her own person. That's her life. I want her here as long as possible because I'm selfish, right? We all selfish when it comes to our people. We want our people to be with us as long as possible, right? I don't got no damn control over that. I can barely tell my children what to do, let alone my mother. She look at me like, okay, son, bye. Literally. She don't want to hear that. But you love them nonetheless. So that's what I want people to take care of. It give people that you claim to love and care about, give them their flowers. Hit them up today. Don't wait till they laid up in the hospital to be crying and whimpering over their bodies and all this kind of stuff. Let them know. And number two, health is wealth. Health is wealth. That's the only thing you got. Strong body, strong mind. Say it with me. Strong body, strong mind. Strong body, strong mind. But to me, this is an example. And again, to the people that's pro SROs and even people that might be watching that are SROs, this ain't personal. But this is another example that we don't need police in our schools. I don't think we do. I'd like to try that here in Cincinnati. Let's do. I think we can try. I think we can get away with it. Or maybe we rethink their role. Maybe they're there, but we rethink the role. Maybe. But see, CPS has to be open. See, the one thing I've said, this is just a general observation about CPS, is that, and this is a general observation about CPS. It ain't personal. Get out your damn feelings. I shouldn't even have to add these kind of caveats, but I know people are sensitive, right? He's talking about us. Oh, okay. But the one thing I've noticed is that CPS says they want family involvement, but they don't really want family involvement. They don't really want you to be involved. They want you to go to cookie sales and sell T-shirts at the games and hot dogs, and they want you to show up for Teacher Appreciation Day and Administrator Appreciation Day, but they don't want you to hold their feet to the fire. And to me, you can't have one without the other. It's all a package deal. I'll say it again. It's been my observation as a CPS parent that in general, CPS doesn't really want parent involvement. Well, they do. They want you to bring some cookies. You can bring them oatmeal raisin cookies. Oh, we love you. Thank you for the oatmeal raisin cookies. Oh, you such a good parent. And they want you to go to the PTA and the PTO meetings and drop donations off. And they want you to volunteer and sell T-shirts at the game and hot dogs and be a part of fundraisers. But they don't want you to challenge them when they do some dumbish. They don't want that. Oh, boy, we got a problem now. Got a problem. Oh, let's put his name on the list. He's holding us accountable for the dumb ish that we're doing and saying to his child, right? When you do that, oh boy, we don't want to hear you. Nobody can challenge that. It's the truth. So I wonder if they would be open to something like that. I don't know. Maybe it's already happening in CPS and we're just not aware of it. I'm just unaware. I'd love to know. 513-873-7134. And why aren't SROs plain closed? I mean, what's the 21 Jump Street type ish? You ain't got to infiltrate. You don't have to get youngish looking, police recruits to go. But why they got to have uniforms on? Because it's a projection of power, and it's that projection of power that's the problem. This is just my opinion. I thought about it over the weekend. It's just my opinion. I mean, is that some kind of a rule? Why can't SROs just be, show up in like a suit or something? You know what I'm saying? Show up in like, whatever, the nail is for that particular school. Why they got to have the whole badges and the whole Batman utility belt and the guns? I don't get that. Now, there could be a good reason behind it, and I'm just ignorant. I totally can say that. I could just be ignorant, but why not do some 21 Jump Street type ish? Kind of blend in. I don't know. I think it's because they want them to have the uniform on because it projects their power. And I think for people that have an issue with it, it's the projection of the power. That's the problem. Am I making sense? I don't know. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. To you, anyway. I'm making sense in my own head, but you know how that is. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, comrade.
Black Russia.
What's up?
What's going on, brother? How was the weekend?
Weekend was pretty good. I can't complain.
Okay.
Made a little money. I wish I'd have made this money on that Donald Trump SPAC. That stock that I don't know if you was hip to it. That Digital World Acquisition Corporation that is picking up Donald Trump's media platform that's supposed to be coming out.
I'm
Man,
aware of
the
that, but
stock
I'm not
went
hip
up.
to what you're speaking of. What are you saying now? There was some money to be made.
All right, so this is money for y'all. Listen, I watched the stock market. There's a SPAC called Digital World Acquisition Corporation that's going to help Donald Trump launch his social media platform. Well, the stock went from $12 a share up to like $175 a share, then it settled back down to $80. I missed out because I was scared. But, hey, just keep your eye on the stock market. There's things going on that you can make money off of.
Right.
So,
it's called
Digital World Acquisition Group.
Is it called Follow the Truth or something like that? What's the name of his new media platform?
That's it's like Truth Media, so I think it's what it's called. But that SPAC that got him on the stock market is called Digital World Acquisition Corporation.
Okay, I'm looking at it now.
It's down at 80. Yeah, it's at $80 a share now. But on Friday, bro, it was at $12. I saw it at 25, and I didn't jump on it because I didn't know what the ceiling was. I was scared. I didn't want to get left holding that bag. But it ended up going like up to $135 a share. And went right down to 80. So if you still would have got it at $25 a share, got to 80, you still would have made out. But hey, it just seems like everything Donald Trump touched, man, when it comes to the business world, it turned to gold.
No.
It turned straight gold. There's a couple,
really?
Hey, I know a lot of folks made some thousands. Hey,
Trump Water didn't. Trump University was a bust. Really?
He made money on it. But he made money on it. That's what I'm saying. He made money.
Yeah, but it was a bust for everybody else. They went under. He had to pay all these lawsuits out.
Hey, Trump
Trump lost money on casinos, bro. Who loses money on casinos?
Hey, a lot of folks lose money on casinos, bro.
I ain't never heard of them before.
They went downtown. Hard Rock ain't necessarily killing it. You know what I'm saying? Especially during the pandemic. Nobody really killed it during the pandemic.
That's the pandemic.
So
Donald Trump lost money back in the back in the 90s or late 80s? I don't know. I'm just refuting what you said about him being a good businessman. So I don't know.
I didn't say he was a good businessman. I said a lot of stuff he touches turned to gold. That's what I said.
I think the exact opposite, but okay.
Well, okay, you're looking at Digital World right now.
Well, let's see how it goes. I mean, it hasn't even kicked off yet.
No, it kicked off this week, bro. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to tell you, it went up 800%. So you got to get on this stuff early. You know what I'm saying? I didn't jump on it. I saw it moving. I got cold feet because I didn't know where the top was or what the ceiling or what the bottom was because it was fairly new. So I missed out on some money. But I know some folks who did make money. So congratulations to them.
So I know the stock is available.
How about those bangles?
But is his platform up and running? Can I download the app and get on the platform?
No, that the person, the Digital World Acquisition Corporation are going to be the folks who's going to help get it off the ground. So it ain't off the ground yet. They're in talks. And so that's why the stock took off, because they're finalizing the deal.
That's quite interesting because
just keep an eye on it.
I read that part of the bylaws is that you can't criticize the platform. You can't criticize Donald Trump and you can't criticize the platform while you're on the platform, right? So a little bit of censorship off the top.
Okay. Okay, it's gonna be, if it's your shit, you get to call the shots. I don't hear nobody on digital media criticizing Nathan Ivey, so maybe you got the same rules. I don't know.
No, I mean that's not true. I'm sure there's people that criticize my flows and my takes that I even work with. I'm okay with that as long as it makes sense and it ain't disrespectful. I'm all cool with it. But that's a little bit different. I mean, we'll see if it works, man. Are you going to jump on this new platform?
I'll check it out to see what he's talking about. I'm gonna at least peep game, see what's going on. But it ain't off the ground yet. When it does, I'll give you a full report. How about that?
Okay, cool. I'll be looking forward to it.
Okay, cool. How about them Bengals though? Blew them boys out the water.
Yeah, looking good. Had a good game. Jamar Chase is real. And despite what your brethren Fame said about Joe Burrow, he seems to be able to make all the throws that you need to be successful so far.
Well, The alt middle is has disbanded. So shout out to Fame.
Wait a
Hope he's
minute.
doing okay.
Wait. The alt middle. Wait a minute. The alt middle has disbanded.
It has disbanded.
What happened?
Just a couple weeks ago. Things happening. The band sometimes breaks up. It happens.
Yeah, but there's a
doesn't
reason
last
behind
forever.
it, though. What's the reason behind? What's the catalyst behind the breakup of the alt middle?
Hey, it's just one of those deals. People go their separate ways, bro. We still cool. It's
I
just
get it.
you
You and Fame
the
fell out.
organization. Nah, we ain't fall out. We cool, bro. I'm telling you right now, we cool. The alt middle just disbanded. You don't see me when I've been on the comments. You don't see me hit alt middle. Hey, it's disbanded.
Wow.
We doing our own things. We solo groups now.
Wow.
We solo acts.
Wow, that is quite interesting. I can't wait to talk to Fame. Maybe he might be honest with me because you're not being honest right now.
What do you mean? I'm not
You ain't being honest. There's a
bro.
reason why y'all disbanded and broke up. I'm just asking what it is.
Hey, the band breaks up, bro. We doing solo acts now. It's okay. I'm glad you're showing a lot of interest in it.
Hell yeah, I'm showing a lot of interest in it. I'm very interested in that. There's a reason why B2K broke up. They ain't just go their separate ways. There's a reason why they broke up.
Chris Brown get out here getting it. What you mean? He's doing a solo act.
Chris Brown was never in B2K. You mean Omarion?
Oh, Omarion. Right. You right. Yeah. You're right. What was Chris Brown? What was he at?
He's always been a solo group as long as I've ever paid attention to him.
I thought he was doing something with somebody else. I guess some of them young black.
Him and Tyga, they had a little something for a second.
That's what it was. Yeah. They had a duo. Yeah. Hey, nothing lasts forever, bro. It's always something new.
Except Flow.
So it's on the bigger.
Wow.
Yeah, okay.
Flow lasts forever. It's enduring like the sun. Damn, so the alt middle broke up, man. This is big for the Nathan Ivey show, man. Y'all this is huge.
Hey, we just
had your 4-year anniversary
cool.
like 2 weeks ago. Damn.
Yeah, I know, but hey, nothing lasts forever, bro. It's things are in cycles.
So did y'all break up over text messages? Was it a phone Zoom call, or what was the avenue in which y'all broke up?
It was just an early morning, chit chat, and hey, we decided to disband the alt middle. And everybody's gonna do a solo act.
So was it you and Fame on the phone, or you, Fame, and somebody else? Who was on the phone for this? Was Drop on the phone call? I'm just curious.
Drop's an affiliate. Well, he was an affiliate, but nobody was on the phone call. It was just me and him. We, chit chatted, and that was it.
So you and Fame fell out. I get it. I ain't trying to, because I don't want black men to ever have no beef, but you and Fame fell out.
We ain't got no beef though. See,
I didn't say you had beef. I said y'all fell out. Two different things. That's okay.
We didn't fall out. We didn't fall out, bro. That's what I'm saying. But I'll tell you who fell out though. On Friday was Nadine Allen and Casey Smith. Did you hear that?
No. No, I missed it.
It was on your eldest talk show. What's that?
I was caught up with my mother.
Oh, okay. All right, well that's good.
Yeah.
But hey, Nadine Allen and Casey fell out, bro. They fell out on radio.
Really?
Yeah, you got to check it out. It's on your eldest talk show.
Okay.
And it comes down to this: don't take that Democratic slate. Don't take the ticket.
I'm not taking the Democratic slate.
Good. I want the listeners to know that too. Don't take that ticket, because the reality is, it's brainwashing our community. That ticket is.
I don't know if it's brainwashing. I mean, they're doing what political parties do. But I mean, there's some people on Democrat ticket who I think are strong. But if we're talking about city council, as I've said before, to me, the best 9 is a mixture. It's a mixture. It's some independents, some charter, some Democrats, maybe some Republicans, and some folks that have no endorsement whatsoever. That's just me personally. So they fell out about that?
I agree. Yeah. Well, here's what happened. I'll just give you a full report what I heard. Basically, Nadine Allen, who I like, she basically accused Elizabeth Ty, her campaign, of violating the Ohio Code of Judicial Conduct.
Really?
Yes.
How so?
And here's what she made the accusation of. She made the accusation that KZ Smith and part of Elizabeth Ty campaign is going around talking about the Democratic ticket and how they didn't endorse certain candidates, about their process and everything, and about how they didn't endorse Elizabeth Ty. Right now, KZ had a perspective that, hey, the Democratic Party's in disarray because, they're not really doing a good job of vetting these candidates, and they're not doing a good job of communicating that these are Democrats who aren't necessarily on the ticket, that they're endorsed by a Democrat. See, Elizabeth Ty is endorsed by a Democrat, not necessarily the Democratic Party, but by a Democrat. So she's accusing him of lying about the endorsement process. Right, you use the wordplay. You know what I'm saying? And Elizabeth Ty is a Democrat. She just endorsed by the Charter Committee.
Mm-hmm.
And so it became a big mess. You have to go back and listen to it yourself.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
It was right. And see, then Tracy Hunter called in, right, and had to correct them because she wasn't endorsed by the Democrats during the primary.
That's right. It was a mistake.
Right. Big mistake. But see, remember how hard she had to fight after she won the Democratic primary to even get her picture put up on the website as the endorsed Democrat all of a sudden?
No, I don't remember that. But she called and reminded people. Okay.
Right. She had to remind people. She had to let people know. Point is this. The Democratic Party is in total disarray. There's a firing squad on both sides of Democrats, and they're shooting at each other, politically speaking.
Total disarray? I think that's an exaggeration.
You think so?
Yeah. What makes you think they're in total disarray?
They're in total disarray because these are Democrats on Democrats, real Democrats. Like you got Democrats on the Charter Committee, you got Democrats on on the Democratic ticket. If you ask me personally, there's great Democrats on the Charter Committee ticket. I would even go as far as to say they're better Democrats than what's on the Democratic ticket. If you ask me, and in my opinion, Elizabeth Ty is the only choice in that race in Ohio, in the District 2 race for municipal court judge. She's the only choice. Her opponent is just, a guy who doesn't even have opponents. Well, the Republican ain't going to win. Let's just put it out there. District 2 is drawn for Democrats.
Right.
So the only folks who's going to have a shot at winning is Elizabeth Ty and the other Democratic opponent. And from my perspective, Elizabeth Ty is the only choice in that race. She has like 15 more years experience doing that, doing the legal game than the other Democratic opponent. But they just threw him in there. And check this out. So they now disclosed that she was the co-chair for that person's committee.
The other Democrat, you saying?
Yes.
Okay.
So there's high drama going on in that race. I just want you to keep an eye on it. It's a hot race.
It is a very hot race. And there's a lot going on behind the scenes with that race.
Right.
And we'll see. I do know that. And we'll see what happens with it. It's going to be a very interesting race. There's a lot of people talking about the process that the Democrats have used. Again, I'll just be blunt with you. If I was on the nomination committee, which I'm not, I would have chosen a different 9. Some of those people would have been there and some of them would have been not. I think it could have been stronger. And my Democrat fans might be listening. That's just my opinion. But of course, I wasn't there. And the other thing is we don't have the benefit of what's happening. I think this is fair. We don't have the benefit of being in that interview process, right? We don't know how these people interviewed. We don't know how these people represented themselves. I think that's part of that. That's missing from the general public. All we know is what we see afterward. But if somebody gets down there and they don't really represent themselves that well, but at the same time, to the larger community, people thinking very favorable of them, it may not match up. And I think that's also a part of this. All right, Black Russian.
You're right about that. And I'm just going to encourage people, man, throw that Democratic sample ballot in the trash and do your own homework.
Okay. All right, brother. Thanks for the call.
Take it easy.
Yeah, most deaf. Interesting. I didn't hear that. I wasn't really, when your family going on, I ain't paying attention to nothing. I ain't paying attention to it. Friday, I was at the hospital all day. Got there as soon as the show ended, and we got there. We didn't leave until mid-afternoon. I think I didn't get home until maybe like 3:30, 3:15. And like I said, I had to run up to the NAACP for the video. Damn near forgot because I was so caught up with her. She's still on my thoughts and prayers. So that's interesting. Some drama, huh? I love the drama. And I don't think the Democrat Party is in total disarray. That's just his hate for his disdain for the Democrat Party coming out. And I don't think there's anything wrong with Democrats arguing. I like a good argument. Shit, that means you got passion. And then you got different sides. Some people pushing for one candidate, another person's, some people pushing for other candidates. So it's going to get played out. I mean, I don't think that means that anybody's in total disarray. But I do agree with him saying in terms of do your homework. I agree with that 100%. And speaking of all of this, we got to take a break. We'll come right back. And during the break, you're going to hear from candidates that they want to bend your ear. They want you to consider them for various races. All right. Including some of the races that we were talking about previous with the caller. Don't forget that early voting is taking place right now in Hamilton County. You can early vote here in Hamilton County over at the Hamilton County Board of Elections. It's at 4700 Smith Road over in Norwood, Ohio. And if you want to call ahead for whatever reason, let me throw the number your way. 513-632-7000. Again, 513-632-7000 if you want to call ahead and maybe you got some questions or comments or something like that. You can get that in. All right. We'll take a quick break, quick pause for the call, so to speak. We'll come right back. This is the Nathan Ivey Show. I'm live, I'm local, and I'm vocal.
Good morning, Choppers. I'm Scotty Johnson, candidate for Cincinnati City Council. Unfortunately, injustice remains in the city of Cincinnati. A remedy for injustice is courageous, bold leadership. I plan on bringing that type of leadership to City Hall. It's time to stop talking about it and to start doing something about it. Disparities have been in Cincinnati far too long. I'm the candidate to address those disparities. Vote Scotty Johnson for Cincinnati City Council.
Paid for by friends of Scotty Johnson.
I'm former Mayor Dwight Tillery asking you to vote for my friend, Michelle Dillingham, who is a Democrat running for Cincinnati City Council. The black population in our city has declined, pushing black homeowners out while speculators purchase their houses for pennies on the dollar. Black people are being foreclosed on because of rigged housing and economic systems.
Michelle Dillingham will fight for you. This is Victoria Strawn. You know me, Sister V. City Council prefers investing in a soccer stadium and gentrifying our historic neighborhoods. Malcolm X said that if you don't own land, you're nothing but a squatter.
Come on, Michelle, talk to the people.
City Council is being sued for discriminatory tax abatement programs that unfairly enrich wealthy white neighborhoods. I know because I've been fighting for reform for years. Isn't it time to elect a candidate who will stand up for the people over special interests? Vote for me, Michelle Dillingham, Democrat for Cincinnati City Council.
Paid for by Dillingham for Council Committee.
This is Hamilton County Commissioner Alicia Reese, and I've been busy fighting hard for the citizens of our county. But today I'm asking you to vote for my friend, Democrat Elizabeth Tye, for municipal court judge. Elizabeth Tye and her family stood with me in a tough election. Now I'm asking you to stand with Elizabeth Tye for judge. She's from our community, and she's qualified. Elizabeth Tye grew up in Kennedy Heights and graduated from Central State University. Elizabeth Tye has been a prosecutor, a public defender, and has built a law practice from the bottom up. There is currently only one black woman on the municipal court. It's time to send another one. Join me in voting for my sister, Elizabeth Tye, for judge. Meet me at the polls.
This is Elizabeth Tye, and there is only one judicial race, and I need you to vote Tye for judge. Let's send a clear message that hard work and experience matters. Go vote Tye for judge today.
Paid for by the committee to elect Democrat Elizabeth Tye for municipal judge.
Hi, this is County Commissioner Alicia Reese, and I'm supporting Reggie Harris for Cincinnati City Council. Not only did Reggie support me in my tough election last year, but we walked the streets of Cincinnati together to deliver food and help citizens in this pandemic. Reggie Harris knows what it means to help people in these tough times. And as a former vice mayor, I know how important it is to have good leaders at City Hall. That's why I'm asking you to join with me in voting for Reggie Harris for City Council.
Paid for by friends of Reggie Harris.
Black boy joy, she wanna see the Forbes like I wanna see her form. Tell me what you for.
I can't sleep.
It's hard to pay attention in school.
I say mean things.
I keep getting in trouble.
I bully other kids.
I'm just scared.
No one sees my pain.
Sometimes I want to die.
So many of our children are facing trauma, but instead of seeing their pain and fear, we're labeling them bad, troubled, delinquent, or criminal. Let's look beyond their behaviors. Let's get them the help they need by helping them address the trauma they're facing.
Help me feel safe.
See me for more than my behaviors.
Understand that my actions are how I communicate my fears.
For more information, visit www.ohiostateofemergency.com. That's ohiostateofemergency.com.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Quick break. It is election season. The election day is about a week away. Tomorrow will be 1 week away, November 2nd. But you can early vote in Hamilton County right now. And again, these are political advertisements. They are not personal endorsements. Good morning to you. If people are doubting how far you can go, my advice is to go so far that you can't hear them no more. Drown them suckers out with the success that you're going to build for yourself, man. Where my early risers at? Where my entrepreneur class at? Where the creator class at? Are we up and early this morning? You up and at it? You've been up early, right? That's right. That's right. Because my creators, my grinders, my hustlers realize that you got to get up early. You got to work like somebody's going to take it away from you. They're trying to take it away. They're trying to take what you built. Good morning to you. Good morning and welcome back. Nathan Ivy with you. Live, local, and vocal. Good morning. Somewhere, broadcasting from somewhere, secret location, somewhere in the greater Cincinnati area. I can't tell you where. It's on some James Bond-ish. I got to kick you out the game. Can't tell you. I tell you, I got to kill you. Got to take you out. Good morning to you. And where's Fame at, man? Fame, I need to hear from you, bro. I need to hear from you, bro. Good morning to you. Alt middle has broken up, huh? Damn. I ain't happy to hear it. You know what I'm saying? It's been very entertaining. Very entertaining over the last few years, but it is what it is. He's right. You know, nothing lasts forever. He's right about that, except for the choppers. We are enduring. I knew he was stronger than the alt middle. I knew it. Flow is everlasting. Flow's everlasting. Y'all did not have enough gas in the tank, and I think it's hilarious. That's what I think. 513-873-7134. How many people got a chance to check out some of the weekend programming? You know, you had Straight Talk Live on Sunday morning with Edna Howe. She had Nikki Grimes on the show. You hip to Nikki Grimes? Poet, author, black female. Not hip to her? Very interesting because one of her books down in Texas, a Texas school banned, sister, by the way, banned one of her books, took it off the shelf, said it was bad for the kids. Very interesting conversation. Should check it out. Plug into it, tap into it. Spend some time with it. And as always, serving up some interesting conversations on your Sunday morning. What's wrong with that? See, Fame is calling in. I can't wait to hear this. And then how many folks got to check out Melanin Insights with the spicy topics? They were talking about, among other things, a very interesting TikTok video. So hilarious. You got to tap into it. I could explain it to you, but it'll lose something in the translation. Check it out. It's on CDM's page. They have a Facebook page as well. Melanin Insights with Britt and Cass. Check them out. To all the insighters, get some insight. All right, we got Fame on the line. Let's see what's going on. Good morning, Fame. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I'm like, what's going on here? You're like mentioning my name. Somebody texted me like, yeah, the nigga talking about the alt middle broke up. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, you should ask your brethren. You know, Black Russia called in and said that alt middle broke up. Said you and him had a conversation.
No, the alt middle didn't break up. The alt middle's still here.
Okay.
One monkey don't stop no show.
Oh, one monkey.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
The alt middle is still here. Somebody was excommunicated.
Oh, snap.
The alt middle's still here. Me and Flo Maney's still down.
Oh, that's right. Flo Maney. I forgot about Flo Maney. So what happened with Black Russia, man?
Some shit ain't for the radio, but that call, because I had to go back and listen to parts of it. I appreciate the diplomacy, but if you're gonna be diplomatic about the whole thing. Just sideswipe the question. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you said something about your brethren out middle, just walk around that. You know what I'm saying? Now you want to get into other shit and then perk people's ears up. You know, kind of like, you know, how people, when they about to scrap, you know, they raise a scene, you know, like that kid at school who always talk shit at school, but he knows the adults will break it up. That's kind of what that's doing. Sideswipe that question. You know what I'm saying? Just sideswipe that whole thing. You know, never mind. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't necessary. It wasn't necessary to me to even get involved with the conversation with you like that. But, you know, sometimes people go their separate ways. So I'm gonna be totally diplomatic, okay? Instead of being half diplomatic. That's all I'm saying.
Isn't it too late?
Now, huh?
Is it too late to be totally diplomatic? I mean, you've already said that basically he got excommunicated. So what happened?
No, that's it. That's it. Okay, well, I'll be half diplomatic as well then, since you're saying it's too late. That's it. Okay. Now,
wow.
I
mean,
I'm sorry?
you can't do that, bro. I mean, y'all been a part of the show for 4 years.
I want to get into what I wanted to, bro.
I'm not going to dig any deeper. I just want to say a couple of things and we'll move on with the call.
I don't want to see nothing. Nobody don't spill any blood. Nothing like that.
Oh, I don't
There's no animus. Nothing like that. There's nothing like that. It's just, you know, just sideswipe that.
So y'all
don't
out,
feed into
like Omarion.
No, we didn't fall out. We did not.
Was it over a woman?
No, we did not fall out.
Okay.
We did not fall out.
Difference of opinion.
Like I said. Say what?
It's just difference of opinion.
It's just differences of opinion.
Okay. Interesting, man. Y'all just celebrated your 4-year birthday.
I'll tell you exactly what. Fuck it. I'll tell you exactly what.
Okay.
I'm supporting AFTAP Pure Vault to the wheels fall off because of loyalty I have to somebody who's close to his campaign.
Okay.
I got 30 years in with that person, not 4.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay.
F. David Mann. You know, he was a politician, the mayor, you know, him, Arn Bortz. These are names I remember from being 5 years old, 10 years old. That's 35 years ago. Get out of here, man. Get out of here, David Mann. Your time's up.
Damn.
You see what I'm saying?
So the mayoral election split up the alt middle. Damn.
Yes. The mayoral election.
Damn, I figure it was either woman, money, or politics. So it's politics, huh?
Right.
Okay.
It wasn't even politics. It was just that election. Like I can't. No, I'm not supporting them under no circumstances.
So Black Russia support David Mann.
Apparently he does.
Wow.
You know, I'm like, nah. Even though AFTAP, even though his family made good money selling our people peach and knee-highs and melted Snickers, just out of loyalty to somebody that's close to his campaign, I got to stick with them.
Melted Snickers? What are you talking about? You'll check it. That's all right. I don't want to know. Melted Snickers? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, my God.
You know what
brother.
I'm saying? Backwoods and everything. You know, all that stuff his mom got at the stove. That ain't good for us. You know what I'm saying? But hey, that ain't why I called to talk. That ain't what I was going to talk to you about. What I was going to talk to you about was, first of all, I thought you were painfully rude to Jerica last week.
What?
I thought you were painfully rude to Jerica last week. At the end of the week, when she talked about that infamous video that you put up, talking about the two young men and the attractive business partner you have. Yeah, she, you know the line of work she's in. She was concerned. Like I told you,
what's the
video
line of work?
Disturbing.
What was the line of work?
You know what her line of work is.
I don't know what her line of work is.
Oh, you know what it is.
I really don't. I swear to God.
Ask her. Well, if you pay attention to the comments, the choppers, you know what line of work she did.
Okay. And you think that you said I was disrespectful to her?
Yeah, you very dismissive to her. As far as choppers go, especially the female choppers, Jerica's, on the Mount Rushmore. She deserves your respect.
She got my respect. That's my sis.
You were being blatantly dismissive to her concerns. Like I said, like I told you, the video was disturbing because it made no sense. What
It
are you
make
trying to
perfect sense.
convey? That you have a hot business partner?
No.
Or that you being old, being older, saw these two young men walk in and you saw your mortality?
Oh, really?
Or you saw reflections of yourself. You talking about people projecting and all this other nonsense. Brother, what is it?
I must have really touched a
What
nerve
was
with
the
you,
purpose
bro.
of that damn video?
Because
the
this
video,
is like the third time you
choppers,
brought this up since I posted that video.
Yeah,
I'm going to do
the
more.
choppers who were with you since day one,
Yeah.
we look at that video and we got concerned.
Speak for
like,
yourself.
Is something wrong with him?
Speak for
is
yourself.
Something not mentally there anymore?
You can't speak for anybody else, bro. You're speaking for yourself. Don't try to do that.
We took a quorum in text messages like your buddy PG did. Oh, you don't like? Oh, fun when the rabbit got the gun, taking quorum in text messages that nobody see. You ain't like that, but your man's did
I
it,
must
and you
have
love
really
them.
touched a nerve with you, brother.
No, you didn't touch a
because
nerve. You made. I'm
you
concerned,
way off
Nathan.
topic for
is
like
this
the
nigga crazy
second,
now?
third
What's wrong with
day
him?
in a row. I did that video a week and a half
video
ago,
had
and
no
you're still
topic.
talking about this.
No,
I must
I'm
have
not.
really
I'm
touched
talking
a
about the
nerve,
way
but
you
go
were
right
treating
ahead, brother. I
Jerica.
want to hear what you have to say.
I'm talking about the way you were treating Jerica. There was no point to the video.
Don't worry about how I'm
like,
treating
what's the
Jerica.
end
Just
game
worry
of
about
this
how I'm
video?
treating you. Don't worry about what I'm talking
Yes.
to my. When I'm talking to my sister, stay the hell out of it.
No,
just
when you're
worry
talking
about when
to
I'm
my
talking to
sister.
you. That's
When
number
you're
one.
talking to my sister, you got it twisted, B. She's my sister.
No, I don't have it twisted, B. You got it twisted.
Now, I was just concerned. I'm concerned about your mental health. You came across crazy.
You should be concerned about your own mental health. Believe me, I'm other than Chairman Mom.
Now,
I am Gucci. Trust me.
Okay.
Life
Yeah,
is
that was
good.
before your mother. I wish y'all nothing but the best for your mom.
I appreciate
that. Let's not get anything twisted here. And that video came out before your mom was recently ailed.
Like a week and a half before then, and you still talking about it. You must have really enjoyed it. I'm gonna do more.
I didn't enjoy it. I was like,
Yes,
if
you
my
did.
brother effed up, what's wrong with
You
him?
enjoyed it.
But listen.
But I think what
let
it
me finish.
is, I think, since you brought this up, I think what it is people project a lot. And I said this before, and I think.
See, there you go. That's just being
you're
disrespectful and dismissive.
I'm your brother. I'm your brother. I'm not being dismissive. I'm trying to help you, brother. You want this or not?
I'm your brother.
I
Don't
appreciate
you.
I appreciate you. But I think what happens is that you're projecting yourself in that situation, and it bothers you that I don't feel the way that you might have felt. I think that's what it is.
No, that's totally off base.
That's what it is.
I'm listening to your commentary like, where is this going? Where is this going? What is he talking about? But listen, we can let that go because, as you said, it was a week and a half ago.
You're going to bring it up tomorrow.
Burrow,
but okay, that's fine.
You mentioned Joe Burrow. I am pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
He's better. He was more, I guess, apparently he's been good at football for more than the 3 months of the college season that he had. He's calling his own audibles. All that is great and wonderful. I'm glad that happened.
He's making back shoulder throws on the sideline, both sidelines. He's doing everything you said he could do.
He has to make. I never said he could make a back shoulder throw. Any asshole can do that.
No. Any asshole can't make a back shoulder throw. That's exactly what you said, bro. You said he couldn't make certain throws on the sideline, and when I watched the games, he's making all the throws.
That's not what I said. I said
exactly
the guy doesn't call his own audible.
That's not what you said. You're changing it, bro.
Okay.
Damn, I'm worried about your mental stability.
Listen. Let's
alt middle broke
because we see this. We see this.
You obsessing about videos I posted 2.5 weeks ago, and now you're lying. What's up with you, bro?
You go again. Haven't I told you words matter? The alt middle didn't break up. We had an excommunication.
Listen, when you got a 3-member boy band and one of them leaves, that's 1/3 of the boy band, and essentially y'all broke up. That's what happened. Until you replace him, you're not the same. You were a triumvirate, right? 3 of you.
How?
What do you mean how? It was 3 of you. Now it's only 2
there you
of
go
you.
Again. There you go again, acting like a white supremacist, delegating responsibility and delegating authority and how my group's supposed to run.
I'm just keeping it real with you, bro.
That's how Sean. Are you gonna let me finish? That's how Sean King became a civil rights leader, because white folks told us he was.
What white folks told us that Sean King was a leader?
Alt middle.
What white people told us that Sean King was a leader?
The white people of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg.
Okay, so nobody did. I'm concerned about you, bro. But go
Mark
right ahead. The
Zuckerberg's
floor is yours, sir.
Mark Zuckerberg's a nobody now. Now, as far as the SROs in school, taking out the uniform ain't the issue. It's the damn presence of a gun. They're going to still have their guns visible because they're cops and they're working as cops.
They can conceal them. Shoulder holsters.
No, ain't nobody going. What are they going to do? Be a teacher? Act
Shoulder
just
holster.
like a teacher now?
Have you ever heard of something called a shoulder holster?
They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that.
They could.
They're not because they ain't. Because
is that what plainclothes police officers do? They put it around their waist, and you can't see the gun because they got a suit over it. What are you talking about?
When they're intentionally doing detective work. These cops ain't up there to do detective work. They're up there to help.
On some levels, they are.
Okay. Well, okay. Listen. Yeah. So that I have an issue with that. I don't see I think you just being such the Democrat that you are. Just have a natural problem with cops.
Well, since you brought this up, if I'm going to identify myself, I do lean to the left, but I'm a gangster lean to the left. I would identify
lean
myself
to the left.
as
you like all the way about to fall over.
I would identify myself as a progressive, and I don't have any disdain for the police. In fact, I've used this platform to encourage people to become police officers. So you're wrong about that again, sir. You just like 0 for 10 now. Are you going to say anything that make any damn sense today?
Are you
You're
going
like 0 for 10, but go right ahead, bro.
Are you gonna encourage the children as the alt middle does to behave and respect the police? Because in the school, you had the extra young Turks on here talking about we don't need SROs and shit or wherever them kids was.
You talking about the Young Activist Coalition? You mean the students who are actually in school? Your old ass graduated 20 years ago. They're right there now, but you're going to criticize what they got to say.
I've got a freshman at Coleraine.
You're not in Coleraine.
I got a junior in Columbus.
You're not in Columbus. Your ass graduated 25 years ago. So how you going to criticize what these folks are saying about their experience right now? I think that's wrong.
Because
I think it's ageist.
Because the kids at Walnut Hills are just as corrupt and foul as the kids at Withrow and other schools. They need police in the building as well. Walnut Hills should not be exempt.
0 for 11.
Yeah, exactly.
You just lobbing up bricks all day.
There was one more thing you said. Oh, can you do one thing for me before I go? I heard the runaway homosexual from Georgia call talking wolf shit last week. Listen, I didn't get a chance to respond. You do me a favor. The next time he calls, get his birthday for me. I don't need to know the year. I don't even think I need to know the date. Just get the month. I've got a theory, and I bet it fits perfectly. But that's all I got, folks. It's been real. I had fun. Alt middle is forever. It never broke up. Don't get it twisted. Okay? Y'all be safe. Oh!
0 for 12, man. This is historic. You just lobbing up bricks all day. Brick after brick after brick after brick. Just terrible. That man right there. He usually does better, but I think, unfortunately, again, I'm not happy to hear about the breakup of the alt middle or the fact that, one person is leaving. Because I understand it. The team keeps going on. One person leaves. I get it, but what would the Bengals be, the Beatles be without, I don't know, Ringo? I hope I'm right about that. I don't know about the Beatles. That might have been a bad comparison. I just got a terrible text message about my mother, so I may have to leave the show earlier. Didn't I just tell you that? I just told you God's will. Just terrible. But we'll see. We'll see what's going on here. Hold on one second. Before we roll out of here, I need to make a phone call real quick. Hold on one second. You can be here for all of this, and we'll get it hooked up. Give me 1 second.
Hello.
Hey, good morning. Is this Miss Hope?
Yes, it is.
Hi, this is Nathan Ivey. We're actually live on the air. Are you still available to have the conversation?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for your time this morning. We're live on the show right now. We got folks that are listening to your voice. Just want to let you know.
Okay,
And
that's fine.
yeah, I really appreciate you this morning and your time. And I was hoping to get just some background on the work that you're doing with your nonprofit, and also give us an update. Give us an update as to what's happening with the cards, the playing cards in the Hamilton County jail system. But just to back up, Miss Hope, can you tell people who you are and what you do?
Yeah, my name is Hope Dudley. Well, first of all, good morning, everyone. My name is Hope Dudley. My son was Daniel Chance Dudley. He was murdered in a drive-by shooting in 2007. He was a passenger in a car leaving the Ritz nightclub when a car pulled up beside and shot at the car. When my son was murdered, I was never contacted by a detective or anything giving me information about my son's homicide. So I wanted to bury my son like I raised him in the church and getting in contact with people that were in the choir because he used to be president of our choir at the church. So I wanted to do all that. And afterwards, I went and talked to the detectives. And when I went and talked to detectives, it was basically like, hey, here I am. My name's Hope Dudley. I'd like to know what happened to my son. And then I proceed to have a conversation with them. I asked them, do y'all give out any flyers or information? Because I didn't know what to do. So they directed me to Crime Stoppers, and I went to Crime Stoppers, and they gave me a flyer of a sketch drawing and told me to go pass this out in my community, which really hurt me more because I felt like my son was more than a sketch drawing on a piece of paper. So what I did was I went to a printer and I asked them to print me up something, gave them a picture of my son. The printing that I got the first time was so bad, but it was more than what I had. So I passed that out, and then I went to another printer and then another printer until I found somebody that I was really comfortable with printing my image of my child. I have four other children. I have two sons and three other daughters. So my oldest son would go out at night and he would put flyers on the cars, and my daughter would go in a club and she would put flyers in the club, and people start asking them, who makes these flyers, where you get them from? And they said, my mom makes them. So I started making them for other people, but I really couldn't afford to. So I took a seasonal job at night at the post office so I could pay for the flyers for the people that start asking for them. So I would do bookmarkers and take them in the church, and some bookmarkers I would do with the Serenity Prayer on them. So what I did was I took the bookmarkers to the Hamilton County Justice Center and my reward cards to, at the time, Sheriff Simon Lee's. And I told them that it's a suspect in the Justice Center that knows who murdered my son. And I gave him that person's name, and he said, if I have to, I will put it in his hands myself. So that was the first time that I realized that you can put more information other than one person into the prisons and jails. So I had wrote the Ohio Attorney General's office about what I was doing and some of the reward cards and the bookmarkers of other families that I had been doing. And in 2010, they thought this was a wonderful idea to support victims of crime. So they actually funded our program, and our program is still funded today by the state's Victims Act and Victims of Crime Act. So we're able to print 250 reward cards for families and 2 posters, and also be able to print flyers per district. Like if it's a homicide in District 1 through 5, we will print all those families' pictures of unsolved homicide in that district and have volunteers pass it out. So when it's a homicide in that district, they go and pass out those flyers and say, hey, it's other people in your community that's actually been murdered. So we was able to put those flyers out, excuse me. I later received a letter from a warden wanting me to connect with this woman whose son was murdered in the Florida Keys. This woman was 85 years old, and she was trying to find out who murdered her son. And she sent me 36 decks of cards and say, hey, this is how you do it. You can put more faces on a card than you can on a reward card, just an individual card. And then that way you go to the prison and see if they would purchase them. So I thought it was a wonderful idea. I went to the prison. I talked to the director of prisons, which was Terry Collins at that time. And I said, what would it take for me to do playing cards and put them in the prisons? He said, one, I don't want nobody's address on the cards. If they were murdered at 1425, you put the 1400 block on there. One, I want these cards to be sold because it's a sense of ownership if they have to purchase the cars in the prison. So I basically tried to follow the model that the prisons had set out for me. And another thing, he said, I want permission from every family that you print on a playing card. So we have 3 decks of cards. Some decks have 52 decks on it, 52 images. Some may have 56 images because some cards have double homicides on it. So in 2012, I printed a poster and it was all women homicides on there. So Simon Lease had left at that time, Sheriff Lease had left. So I went to the interim sheriff, which was Sheriff Donovan, and I said, we just printed faces of unsolved homicide women, and I would like to put them in their facility. And at the time, Vice Mayor Christopher Smitherman was over law and public safety. And I said, I'd like to print some pictures I printed pictures of women on flyers. I like to do an interview at City Hall, and the prison is actually sending people down here to pick up these cards. So the prison came, we did an interview, and they took back posters of women of unsolved homicide. So now we have Sheriff Jim Neal who comes to the Hamilton County Justice Center. So every time a sheriff leaves, I reintroduce myself. My name is Hope Dudley. Here's information about our program. Right now, we're working on a project for playing cards. It took me 7 years to get permission from every family. I started in 2009 just collecting permission slips from the reward cards that I had been printing. And so he thought it was a good idea. Sheriff McGuffrey, Major Liam McGuffrey was excited. Everybody was there. They took families, pictures with our families holding the cars. And at that time, I ordered 5,000 decks of cards. ODRC shipped 2,500 decks of cards to me. The Hamilton County Justice Center about cards. So the cards had been going in and out. So when Sheriff Simon Lease got ready to, the year before he left, he funded our program with restricted funds. And those, see, when I print the cards with my own money, I literally had to wait until they get sold in order for me to get reimbursed. But that was okay because I wanted the information in here. But see, this time Simon Lease was able to give us restricted funds where we actually were able to do the playing card, but it was a reimbursement. So I still had to put my money out there first in order to receive it back. So these cards, we printed 5,000, 1,000 went into the Justice Center. No, 1,000 went to the prison, 500 of each, because we actually this time, for the first time, did 2 decks of cards, which took a lot of time. So we actually signed 500 decks of each because the ODRC said we still have 2,500. We still have some left out of 2,500. So it was easier to take the other, and I can send them to the Justice Center as needed than buying a box of cards would have been double the price than it would have been if I had got a bundle of 5,000. So I'm constantly, y'all need cards. Can you give me a call? Let me know. So they were at least buying from 400 to 600 decks a year. The first order may be 400. They may call me halfway through the year and say, hey, we need 200 more decks, and I would send them there. And Butler County, they, Sheriff Jones, they have cards. They call and say, we need cards. So I would take some there. So this particular time, the person that I have been working with, I know when new people come in, they hire their own staff, but I have been emailing. I even called a couple of times and I didn't get no call back. And then I get a call and it says, I get an email and it says, well, we will no longer be carrying the playing cards in the Justice Center because it has been brought to our attention that it was a security risk. And then it just puts kind thanks. And I'm like, what's going on? Let me call ODRC because that's what the maximum of our cards are. So I called ODRC. I said, they're having issues down here at Cincinnati with a security risk with the cars. Can you let me know something if it's a security risk? And they said, well, we'll talk to the guards and find out what's going on with the cards, and we'll contact her and let her know what's the security risk there, because we haven't had any issues. So I reached out to Sheriff Jones, and because I'm calling the people that have these cards. Hey, something's going wrong. It's a security risk, something may be happening with the cars. And then, cars been in prison ever since prisons have been built. And a lot of cars they don't allow in prison are terror cards or magic cards or different cards like that. But actual playing cards have actually been into the facility ever since then. So I did receive a call from Sheriff Jones, and Sheriff Charmaine McGuffrey. She called me twice, and I reached out back to her, and I told her, I said, now we're gonna come down Saturday and protest. I said the thing to do was to buy the cars then, and then the families would applaud you, because all we want is to put out some information about our loved ones' cases. You got people that put out missing person flyers and runaways and different. There is nothing for families of unsolved homicide to display their loved ones' pictures and say, "Hey, this is my son. He was murdered." When my son was murdered, families was writing on cardboard boxes, holding them up, saying somebody murdered my son. They no longer have to do that. They have a picture of their choice to put on a card or a flyer and display and say, "Hey, this is my son." I mean, we'll do bookmarkers, we'll do reward cards, and it don't cost families anything. All it costs them is permission for us to show their image. So that's kind of like a quick rundown of where I'm at right now.
I appreciate that. Speaking with Hope Dudley, and we're talking about the situation with the playing cards and her organization. I got two questions, Hope. One is, what did Charmaine McGuffrey say to you? What is the issue? Why did she have an issue with the playing cards at the Hamilton County Jail? What was happening?
Well, well, the Hamilton County Jail, when the sheriff ran, she ran on a transparency policy. And transparency to me is somebody needs to know something. Here, I'm transparent. You can see everything I'm doing. But it was no accountability about, let's get in touch with Miss Dudley and let her know what's going on and why we are moving the cards. Now, she blamed the person who sent me the email. She blamed Sheriff Jim for the way the facility was, and the bad lockerism, the locks in the prison. She in the justice center, she blamed the locks, and that she was trying to uh, find a way that the cards, that the inmates can have the cards, or even if she has to buy them and give them a deck as they leave. Or I didn't understand it.
I read that
I really.
I read that they were somehow being used to like jam the locks on the doors. Is that what you understand?
Well, that's what I understand. But anything in a jail or prison can be a security risk. They can use a toothbrush, they can use a piece of paper. I mean, why those particular cards? I mean, I just didn't understand that. You can actually get them and they can play them in a group and then take them back. But let me say this, and this is just my opinion. Anything in a jail can be a security risk. Anything, not just a deck of cards. Anything can be a security risk. These cards are individually owned. And if you have a deck of cards, you ain't gonna tear the whole deck of cards by taking one and jamming the lock, because you want to keep that card together. It's been guys, my mother had a neighbor that actually mailed her a deck of cards from the Justice Center because my son's picture was on the cards. I mean, it was no real explanation, and me, she was voted in. The people voted her in. And as a Hamilton County resident, I think I should have a right to know. I mean, how many incidents reports was made by the cards, or is it a bunch of locks that's been jamming up, and you just put this particular incident down? I mean, how many incident reports was it of other things that have been a security risk? And yeah, we realize it's an old jail. So that's kind of, I'm confused. I don't understand the logic behind a deck of cards being a security risk when they've been in there for 7 years. Now, the Sheriff Montgomery left in 2017. The cards was there in 2014. She said she was in the commissary when she orchestrated them to take out the other cards and just use those playing cards. So she had 3 years while she was in there to see the function of the cards. So I'm just, make me understand, Nathan, please.
So Hope, just a few more questions coming in from the audience as well. Somebody wants to know, are all playing cards being banned down at the Hamilton County lockup facility, or just the ones with unsolved murders, just your cards?
I don't know. I don't know. She didn't specifically say, she said cards, and that could have meant all cards. But, she specifically said my name and these particular cards. So.
And what's the current status as we sit here today, Monday, October 25th? What's happening with the cards? Is it still up for conversation, or has the sheriff made a decision about it?
I don't know if the sheriff made a decision whether or not she's going to take the cards. And I'm not a type of person that's not going to force anybody to do the right thing. Sheriff Montgomery stood when she was running for election. She came to every Stop the Violence. She stood on 8th Street Bridge with families, and she held our hands and said she was going to support nonviolence and families of unsolved homicide. I mean, she was out there. She even came up behind me, and I told her, and took a selfie with me. So I just don't understand. But the thing about it is, since she's done what she's done, more people have ordered. The Butler County have ordered more. So this is not just the only facility that they're in, but I'll tell you, 75% of the crimes that happen in Cincinnati go through the Hamilton County Justice Center, and those cars need to meet them right where they are.
Have they been working? I mean, have the dissemination of the cards in the jail, has it led to the solving of some crimes, to your knowledge?
I never used to ask about that because my concern was the victims, but I've asked detectives. I was in a meeting and I asked the detective, I said, do you get information about the cards? He said, yes, all the time. He said, somebody called and said, yeah, I know who murdered the person on the 7 hearts or so. And I'm just throwing that out there. I don't want nobody to think that case was solved. But they would throw that information out there. I had one lady call me and say, I know who murdered 6 people on the cards. Me and my husband picked her up and took her downtown to the homicide department, and she picked out 3 people on the cards and said her baby daddy did it. I had the sheriff department, 4 people in the Hamilton County Justice Center since the cards have been solved, been there, 4 cases were solved. So if we say that we are supporting victims of crime, they support victims trying to find what happened to their loved ones.
And I'm curious, Ms. Hope, your son's case, was it solved? Did you find the perpetrators behind your son's murder?
No, his case is still unsolved.
Still unsolved.
And my son is the 5 of hearts on every deck of cards. And every flyer that I print, I put a cameo picture of my son on the bottom of the flyer to let people know I'm with you. I've lost my son too. I understand how it is to want to get information out about your loved ones' cases. I'm right with you. It's been 14 years. And I'm hopeful because I have information out there that people can see.
What can the community do? What, for my listening audience, what would you ask them? What do you ask in the community do to help support, what's going on right now?
I everybody has a boss, and I ask everybody that can to write the Hamilton County Commissioner's Office and tell them to have Sheriff McGuffey put those cards back in the Hamilton County Justice Center and have her to stand up to her oath of transparency. And when something is going on in the Hamilton County Justice Center, that she be accountable for it and say, hey, this is what's going on in our county or in our jail. We didn't hear no information about that. And my thing is, I see where she made a statement that they spent $40,000 on locks in the Hamilton County Justice Center. And I'm saying, you spent $40,000 on locks in the Hamilton County Justice Center, but then somebody breaks in her locked car, steal her gun that's never been found, and she says that crime can knock on anybody's door. So I'm just amazed about, I don't understand what's going on, but please write the county commissioners and tell them to put our cards back in the Hamilton County Justice Center where they belong. It don't cost the Justice Center nothing. Each deck of cards that they take in their facility, they get 30 cents. They get 30 cents off of each deck of cards that go in their facility. Now, whatever they sell to the prisons, the inmates for, I say sell them $3 a day, but they retail $5 a day. I'll take a $2 loss in order for them to be in the Justice Center. But I sell them the cards for $2.70 a day. So they actually get 30 cents off of each deck of cards that goes through their facility. So it don't cost them nothing.
Well, Miss Hope, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you. And is there a website? Where can people follow, and be a part of and support You Can Speak For Me?
We have a website. It's called You as an umbrella. You Can Speak For Me .org.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and I really appreciate you. And thank you for the work that you're doing in our community.
Okay. And thank your listeners for this time and this space. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, most def. That's Hope Dudley, everybody, the CEO of You Can Speak For Me. Another just really powerful example of, and we talked about dads on duty, these brothers down in Shreveport, Louisiana. Now we talked to Hope Dudley. As I've said before, it's disrespectful to say that people don't care about murders in the city because you disrespecting people like Hope Dudley. And I know the majority of the audience, I'm not speaking about you, but we know who we talking about. Nobody cares more about the crime than the people that's touched by crime in any community. So I think that is very motivational on some levels. I mean, she said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do something instead of sitting around talking about stuff, because too many people do that. We just sit around and keep complaining and belly aching. And I believe as a talker that can play a role in the process. But props to what she's doing. My attitude about it is I'm even more convinced is I don't care how much it costs. I don't care if it costs $140,000 for Hamilton taxpayers. So what? If in any way it can move the needle in terms of solving some of these crimes, keep doing it. I'm sympathetic, to what the sheriff is saying. I mean, they're saying it's a security risk. I've got no reason to believe otherwise. I will reach out to Charmaine McGuffey today to see if we can get her on the show. She's a big fan of the show. During the election, she was on the show quite a bit. The day of the election or the day afterwards, she called into this show first because, she believed that, we played a role in getting the word out there and helping her get reelected or elected, which we did most definitely. And her words, not mine. That's what she said. So I'll reach out to her and get her perspective of it because you know me, I don't like to talk about people unless we reach out to them and bring them on the show so we can hear what they have to say. And as a taxpayer, I'm willing to pay more taxes because I think, that's a very creative and innovative way of trying to address things. Okay, Pat, I was coming straight to you. And if we can solve one murder, it's worth it. If we can solve one unsolved crime, is worth it. And it makes sense. I mean, that seems to be a good place to try to reach people, these brothers and sisters that's in lockup. You know what I'm saying? It makes perfect sense. So, and if they're doing it in other facilities, why aren't they complaining about it? What's unique to the Hamilton County lockup facility? So a lot of questions. Hopefully I try to mix in your questions as well. Really good questions from the choppers. But let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Nate, it's Pat.
Hey, Pat, good morning.
I had hung up because you mentioned you was going to reach out to Sheriff McGuffey. She came on when she was running. She should come on now and explain, tell us what's going on, what's her thoughts, why she did what she did.
Yeah.
But you said you was going to reach out.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's why.
And just knowing her just a little bit, I don't have any doubt that she'll come on if she's got the time. I have no doubt about that. So I'll reach out today.
Yeah, I voted for her. I mean, she should. I believe she'll come on. You can't think of everything, but you did think of that. That's why I hung up the first time.
Okay. Thank you, Pat. I appreciate it.
All right. My prayers are with y'all.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, I just got some bad news. I'm going to have to leave the show early, probably right after this break. Just got some bad news about my mother, so I'm very emotional about it. But, I have to do what I have to do. She would want me to do that. So I will reach out. I stand by my vote and what I said. I still think she was way better than Bruce Hoffbauer any day of the week. And I believe in what she said, but, we don't always have to agree. And she has the position. I'm not there, so I don't know. So I think it's only fair to hear from the inside what the issue is. But as a Hamilton County taxpayer, and the one question I forgot to ask her is the city funding her program? Because it sounds like the kind of program that needs to be funded by the city. You got mofos doing, documentaries, you know what I'm saying? Getting paid from the city. This seems to be, everybody's talking about murders. And let's do something about it. This seems like a righteous way to spend my tax dollars as a county taxpayer. So I'd like to hear about it. I mean, 40, 100, 40,000. I mean, whatever it takes. That seems to be a very creative and innovative idea of trying to get the word out there. So I don't know. We shall see. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Mr. Ivy. This is your West Side Connection. Prayers out to you and your family, Mr. Ivy.
Thank you. And
I'm going to make this call real quick. Black Russia has a point when he says that the Democrat Party is a mess locally in Cincinnati. It was a mess out here in California when you had the recall. It's a mess in Virginia. You got a blue state that Biden won just 9 months ago. Now it's a dead heat with a pretty much unknown Republican going against Terry McAuliffe, who was a former governor. They had to break the glass and bring out the magic man, Barack Obama, like they needed him in California. So, Mr. Ivy, the Democrats obviously kept Gavin Newsom in California. So
I'm glad
the Democrats continue. The Democrats continue to act a fool in Washington by holding that bill that they had agreement on. But do you think if they would have lost in California, that maybe they would have went ahead and put through that legislation? Now we got Virginia a week from tomorrow. They're having another election where they had to bring out the heavy hitters. And are you saying if Terry McAuliffe pulls out the win, that the Democrats are going to continue to act fools in D.C., or if they lose, that then maybe they'll start passing some bills. Because this is the way I see it, Mr. Ivey. The Democrat Party is a mess. It's a mess nationally, and it's obvious. Joe Biden's disgraceful and embarrassing performance at the CNN town hall. I mean, Mr. Ivey, it's getting bad. The 25th Amendment needs to be talked about. The man was standing there in a frozen, locked position like he was skiing. Again, all I got to say, Mr. Ivey,
you are
is
a trip, man.
Something's got to be done, because the Democrats seem like they only will respond if it looks like they're going to lose something. But as long as they keep winning, they just going to keep doing what they're doing. I demand to have action. That's all I got, sir. And prayers out to your family. I hope everything works out, Mr.
Thank
Ivey.
you so much
Drop
for those
Squad
prayers.
52.
Hold on. There might be a spot for you, man.
What?
Might be a spot for you. Thank you for the prayers. Did you hear about it? The alt middle has broken up to some degree. Black Russia's no part of the alt middle. So
I knew it. See, I
might be able to take your spot now.
Mr. Ivey, I intentionally did not mention that, because I knew what you was going to do.
You know what
I
I'm
can
going to
read
do.
you like a book.
Yeah, that's obvious.
You're going to talk about, when you was talking to Black Russia, did you reach out to drop?
I had to say that, man. I know you want to be an affiliate. Now you got a spot at the lunch table, man. You can take Black Russia's spot.
Mr. Ivey, you are terrible. You are terrible, sir. And I want to end the call on that. Man, you be cracking me up. But anyway, you keep doing what you're doing.
Answer. Okay.
Mr. Ivey, you are one hell of a professional, sir. I'm telling you, the stuff that I've witnessed that you've gone through personally, and how you have dedicated yourself to your audience, to the listeners, and to the people of Cincinnati, it's just amazing. So prayers go out to you, sir, and your family.
Thank you.
I hope everything's well. And hopefully you'll be on the air tomorrow, and we can finish talking about the alt middle and their affiliates. South Squad 52, dropping science to anyone who wants to catch it. Where are all the Biden supporters?
This guy, man, he don't stop. Got a spot, man. You can get in there. Got to take a break, and I'm probably going to leave the show a bit early. I just got some not a good text from my sister, so I got to make a move this morning. And he's right. I don't know if I'll do the show tomorrow or not. You know, it depends on what's happening with my mother, Chairman Mom. But I got to take a break. We'll come back and wrap things up live, local, and vocal. It's the Nathan Ivey Show, and we'll be right back.
County Commissioner Alicia Reese, and I've been busy fighting hard for the citizens of our county. But today I'm asking you to vote for my friend, Democrat Elizabeth Tye, for municipal court judge. Elizabeth Tye and her family stood with me in a tough election. Now I'm asking you to stand with Elizabeth Tye for judge. She's from our community, and she's qualified. Elizabeth Tye grew up in Kennedy Heights and graduated from Central State University. Elizabeth Tye has been a prosecutor, a public defender, and has built a law practice from the bottom up. There is currently only one Black woman on the municipal court. It's time to send another one. Join me in voting for my sister, Elizabeth Tye, for judge. Meet me at the polls.
This is Elizabeth Tye, and there is only one judicial race, and I need you to vote Tye for judge. Let's send a clear message that hard work and experience matters. Go vote Tye for judge today.
Paid for by the committee to elect Democrat Elizabeth Tye for municipal judge.
I'm former Mayor Dwight Tillery asking you to vote for my friend, Michelle Dillingham, who is a Democrat running for Cincinnati City Council. The Black population in our city has declined, pushing Black homeowners out, while speculators purchase their houses for pennies on the dollar. Black people are being foreclosed on because of rigged housing and economic systems.
Michelle Dillingham will fight for you. This is Victoria Strawn. You know me, Sister V. City Council prefers investing in a soccer stadium and gentrifying our historic neighborhoods. Malcolm X said that if you don't own land, you're nothing but a squatter.
Come on, Michelle, talk to the people.
City Council is being sued for discriminatory tax abatement programs that unfairly enrich wealthy white neighborhoods. I know because I've been fighting for reform for years. Isn't it time to elect a candidate who will stand up for the people over special interests? Vote for me, Michelle Dillingham, Democrat for Cincinnati City Council.
Paid for by Dillingham for Council Committee.
Good morning, Choppers. I'm Scotty Johnson, candidate for Cincinnati City Council. Unfortunately, injustice remains in the city of Cincinnati. A remedy for injustice is courageous, bold leadership. I plan on bringing that type of leadership to City Hall. It's time to stop talking about it and to start doing something about it. Disparities have been in Cincinnati far too long. I'm the candidate to address those disparities. Vote Scotty Johnson for Cincinnati City Council.
Paid for by friends of Scotty Johnson.
Hi, this is County Commissioner Alicia Reese, and I'm supporting Reggie Harris for Cincinnati City Council. Not only did Reggie support me in my tough election last year, but we walked the streets of Cincinnati together to deliver food and help citizens in this pandemic. Reggie Harris knows what it means to help people in these tough times, and as a former vice mayor, I know how important it is to have good leaders at City Hall. That's why I'm asking you to join with me in voting for Reggie Harris for City Council.
Paid for by friends of Reggie Harris.
Good morning, Choppers. I'm Scotty Johnson, candidate for Cincinnati City Council. Unfortunately, injustice remains in the city of Cincinnati. A remedy for injustice is courageous, bold leadership. I plan on bringing that type of leadership to City Hall. It's time to stop talking about it and to start doing something about it. Disparities have been in Cincinnati far too long. I'm the candidate to address those disparities. Vote Scotty Johnson for Cincinnati City Council.
Paid for.
I can't sleep.
It's hard to pay attention in school.
I say mean things.
I keep getting in trouble.
I bully other kids.
I'm just scared.
No one sees my pain.
Sometimes I want to die.
So many of our children are facing trauma, but instead of seeing their pain and fear, we're labeling them bad, troubled, delinquent, or criminal. Let's look beyond their behaviors. Let's get them the help they need by helping them address the trauma they're facing.
Help me feel safe.
See me for more than my behaviors.
Understand that my actions are how I communicate my fears.
For more information, visit www.ohiostateofemergency.com. That's ohiostateofemergency.com.
All right, fam, I got to make a move. I've got to make a move and go to the hospital, check on my mother. I appreciate you all being here. Got to end the show a little bit earlier. Have an excellent rest of your day. And hopefully we'll catch up tomorrow morning, bright and early at 7 a.m.